Dear friends, dear colleagues of the Plan for the Planet Foundation, welcome to your International Youth Summit, and also a very warm welcome from us here in Nairobi, Kenya, at the headquarters of the United Nations Environment Programme. Your foundation, your global network and movement, and UNEP already share a great deal of common history. As some of you may realize, the Billion Tree campaign that we launched many years ago with Wangari Maathai as the inspiration has since become also the foundation and in many ways the demonstration of your commitment and your energy to making a difference on our planet. As you meet this week and look at the future of life on our planet, but also your future and that of future generations, let me also say that we are natural allies in UNEP. Our concern, our work, from the science about environmental change right through to the policies and the answers to the questions that are part of all of our lives today. For instance, how will 7, soon 8, 9 billion people live together on this planet, achieve development, but also achieve sustainability and ensure that future generations have a life on this planet to look forward to, are things that bring us together. You have asked me to address some of the questions that will also feature prominently, for instance, at the forthcoming G7 summit at Schloss Elmau, but also at conferences that the United Nations is convening this year, such as the Conference on the Post-2015 Development Agenda, which may seem like an acronym, but at the heart of it will have the adoption of a new set of Sustainable Development Goals. Goals that nation states have negotiated and will hopefully agree on this September, will define the parameters for the actions, policies and initiatives that need to be taken in the years ahead. We all know that in themselves goals do not change the future, and we even realize that some of the targets and indicators that are currently being negotiated for these Sustainable Development Goals will not necessarily ensure that we can look forward to a sustainable future. Some of you may have heard of concepts such as planetary boundaries and how we as a global community of now more than 7 billion people are already using resources on this planet well beyond the capacity to regenerate these resources. It's the fundamental illustration of what you are concerned about life for future generations on this planet. But let me also give you reasons to be hopeful. First of all, we are witnessing not only an international awareness, but also a willingness to act more collectively, for instance, to address issues such as the hole in the ozone layer, for which after 30 years we have good news. We are actually repairing the ozone layer as we speak and can look forward to a future where this problem will hopefully not be one of our greatest challenges. But we also have, in addition to the challenge of sustainable development in general and the conference in September in New York, another very important meeting which I know many of you are very focused on. It is the Conference on Climate Change, where member states of the Framework Convention on Climate Change will meet in Paris in December to try and agree on a way forward in terms of how we can address this issue of global warming, how we can decouple our economies from the kinds of emission footprints that have become part of our 19th, 20th and 21st century history of economic development. Let me tell you that in UNEP we believe very much in our capacity to change the future course of our countries, economies and communities. And you, as young people, as youth, are central to this. This may not always seem to be the case when you look at the intergovernmental processes. If you try and look at the United Nations, that may at times seem distant, also defined by ambition, but also often failure of member states to then achieve the commitments that they have made. But let me tell you, as you become engaged, as you look towards the future, as you look at also how we can bring nation states, communities, essentially the world community together to act on issues of sustainability, the environment, quality of life, pollution, the protection of our forests, the protection of endangered species, please count on your fellow brothers and sisters across the planet. The awareness that we have today is our greatest asset. Your ability as young people to act and to do things, not only in the sense of studying the problem, criticizing the state of how things are happening right now, but to do things. Plan for the Planet has been a fantastic illustration of when you decide to take action. And I would encourage you to look towards some of these international events, whether it is the G7 leaders coming together, the presidents and prime ministers coming to New York in September, or indeed the climate conference in December. Ultimately, succeeding in addressing these issues will depend on you. And you are creative, you are energetic, you have responsibility, and yes, you have the power to change the future. Whether it is in the context of planting a tree and soon talking about planting millions of trees and perhaps billions of trees, you have shown that you are perfectly capable, first of all, to do something yourself right now and here and tomorrow. And through doing this, you have motivated and inspired literally hundreds of thousands of others to do the same. This is the key to making the 21st century one in which we will actually have an internationally coordinated effort by 7 or 8 billion people acting on these issues. Whether it is also issues such as air pollution or the consumption of energy or the wastage of food, for instance. Many of you will already have heard about the fact that more than 1/3 of everything we grow on this planet every year is never consumed because it is either lost between farms and markets or it is just wasted at your home, in restaurants, in schools. Everywhere we seem to have a capacity today to throw away and waste food. Start within your community, whether it is the family, the school, your network of friends, or the clubs that you join. They don't have to be environmental clubs. It could be a football club. It could be an adventure club. But it is in your community that you can become real change agents, and from there you build up your capacity to speak to the world, including to heads of state and government, the media, your relatives, or indeed the global audience. We in UNEP, through our Tunza Youth Network, have a contribution to make to your efforts, and in our own right have tried to both empower young people, support them with good science and analysis, and above all, to make you and every young person on this planet feel that you do have a voice, and that voice must be heard. I wish you a very successful summit. I hope that you will find some clear messages and that you underpin them also with commitments of how you will reach out to others. That is your power, and together we can make a difference and we can change the future. Thank you for your energy, for your support and for your interest, and count on us in UNEP to be your friends, partners and allies.